Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast presented to you by Music Never Stopped. I'm your host, Clint.
I'm your co-host, Chloe, and I don't have anything catchy to say on the end of this one.
Well, we're all jammed up and we're ready to blast. It's time for Clint and Chloe's Music Podcast.
Yeah, sometimes it'd be like that, you know?
I used all my brain power at work today, so I'm on a slow-moving train. I was being a little jokester at work, though. I was being a funny gal.
There's no Billy Strings shows to talk about, so...
That's okay, baby. We got fucking...
Good music's coming. It's coming back. Tour dates are getting announced. Today, as you're listening to this, Jed Harrelson's in Asheville.
As I'm talking this the day before, I'm very excited to see him again.
Yeah, and then there was someone else, I think, this weekend, too. But maybe I'm wrong. But,
I did just hit that.
Anyways, on the podcast today, we have Sam Teller, Mr. Seven Teller, as you might know him. Baltimore Wonder Kid is what they're calling him.
Wonder Kid, why is that?
He plays all the instruments.
Oh, is he a one-man band?
No, but...
Sorry, guys, this is another one I haven't listened to.
But he plays like... You gotta listen to the interview to find out.
Okay, I will tomorrow when it comes out.
And he's gonna be doing like a residency here in Asheville too, which will be sick, so we can check him out and all.
Yeah.
But we don't have a ton on the intro today. But we'll see you guys in the back end. Enjoy this interview with Seven Teller.
Honey, you're listening to some all jammed up.
I'm glad we finally got to do this. I feel like we've been going back and forth now for a while.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute.
How was Asheville this weekend?
Dude, it was awesome. Yeah, that was the first time that bluegrass band Radish played in Nashville, and Billy was there, so it was just slammed the whole night, and a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, where'd you guys play at again?
One Stop.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So you have the bluegrass group, but then Seven Teller, that's more of your like main project, right?
Yeah, it's like my main bag. Radish doesn't tour that much. Seven Teller's got like a crazy tour schedule, and like that's mainly what I'm putting most of the energy into, you know.
And new album coming out, like I guess by the time this podcast comes out, it'll already be out. So congratulations.
Thanks, bro. Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
just tell me a little bit about like that. I know you guys have kind of been a band for a long time, and it seems like from like what I've read and what I've listened to, the sound's kind of changed as of late. Is that correct?
Yeah, totally. So I started doing this thing like 5 years ago, like right after COVID, or I guess 6 years ago, 2020. And there's like different people in it. There's always been different people in it, and I had a bunch of different iterations. There's a couple albums that aren't even on Spotify. And yeah, like a year ago or so, or not a year ago now, almost 2 years, I had a band that I was playing with for like 2 years straight about, and one of them had to leave, and it was kind of a big deal for me, but I just decided to keep going, and it kind of like spurred on a whole different like idea of what my music is, and what it's like, a whole different idea of like how I'm a band leader. And like even though like that person had to leave, the reality was for the entire time that I've been doing it, it's always been me. It's always been like my songs and me doing most of the work. But I always loved the idea of like, having a band with your friends that's like the same band, and like Fish changed my life, and that's what they are. They've been like best friends forever or whatever. And I always loved that, and I was like really married to that idea. But then when my band member left the band, it was hard for me, but I came around to it, and it also resulted in me trying to like ask myself like, what music do I want to make? And like,
Yeah.
what do I want to do differently if I'm not married to this idea of being like fish or whatever? And that resulted in a bunch of new music, totally different sound.
Yeah, so big Fish influence. I guess we can kind of start there. So, is it like you were listening to Fish, you saw a Fish show? Like, what is about Fish that kind of resonates with you?
Um, well, in 2009, I didn't know anything about like the jam scene, but in 2019, I was getting sober and I was living in a house with a bunch of sober people, and my buddy had Fish on the car once, and I was like, at first I thought it sounded totally like weird and like jarring. And before that, I'd listened to like Grateful Dead, like studio
Hmm.
albums, and I loved those, but I didn't know anything about live shows. And that summer, 2019, I went to two Fish shows at Merriweather, where I live, or just outside of where I live, and those totally changed my life for sure. Like just how much fun they were having on stage and everything about it just kind of rocked my world. And since then, like after that, I became like a huge Fish head. And then, now like Fish is probably my like in my top five bands, but
Hmm.
I don't even listen to Fish that much anymore. But I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it wasn't for Fish. And if you listen to like Studio Seven Teller, like the album that's coming out or just came out, it doesn't sound like a live band really much at all most of the time. If you go to a live show, you would hear like like we stretch things out, and like a lot of that like Fish energy is in there for sure.
Yeah, that was a question I had because I've listened to Seven Teller. I haven't seen you guys live yet. So I watched, and when I listened to the studio stuff, I was like, this sounds like it would be difficult to replicate this like at a live show. And there was an emphasis on like going into improvisation on your guys' website too. So I checked into that as well. And it was a lot different. And I want to know just like kind of where that comes from, like making one thing at the studio and then like trying to mix it up with the live.
Yeah, I mean, I always loved live music, but when I saw Fish, it was like, oh, like this is like church, man. Like this is like they're channeling something, and
Hmm.
so I'm any concert that I do, I want to, and no matter what project, like that's almost like one of the best parts to me. Like I love playing songs, but I love the opportunity to be like in the moment and
Yeah.
improvising. And so, yeah, when we play live, the songs are a little bit different, but I think I just realized that, like the best studio albums of all time. Let's talk about that. Sergeant Pepper's or like Abbey Road or something like I don't know, like Radiohead or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you can't quite replicate all that live. It's nearly impossible, particularly with like Beatles stuff. And I thought, well, if I'm making studio music, I should just make music that's for the studio. And when I'm
Hmm.
doing stuff live, I can rock out more. I can stretch things out and have a lot more of that like live energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, the recorded stuff though is fun, man, too. It's like it's kind of like
Yeah.
I get like a Talking Heads vibe, but also you kind of when you sing, you sound like the guy from Cake a little bit. So it's like a fun little mix there.
Dude, that's the funniest thing ever. After every shows, everybody's like, "Do you listen to Cake?" And I'm like, I know like two or three songs,
I honestly
but
just know that one song, Long Jacket, and then like I heard that and I was like,
yeah,
this sounds like that one song.
yeah. Which is cool. Like Cake is cool, but it's
Yeah.
funny because like I don't. It's just I always get people always mention that, but I love the spoken word thing, and I'm not
Hmm.
like that's very David Byrne, very Talking Heads, and I'm not um like I can sing, but I'm not like like some like classical singer
Yeah.
or anything. So I really like that, and a lot of my like um sort of like freestyle like writing process when I'm writing lyrics and stuff. It's very just like it works more in like the spoken word format almost. So
Yeah,
I
what
just
is
put it
that
on top of
process like for you? Because you have like the lyrics seem they're unique for sure, and they seem like they a lot of times carry like some kind of message that maybe if you're not listening all the way, you don't receive that message. So I just kind of want to know like what that writing process is like, especially with the unique blend of instruments that you're using.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing that motivates me more to write than just like thinking, shit, I need to get some songs done. But when I start the writing process, um, I'd say like it would start out with an idea and then like something that I want to write about, or it would start out with like a line or something that's like stuck in my head, something that I hear somewhere, and I'll just start off with some notes, and then I might not feel that called to write a bunch of lyrics in that moment, but whenever I do feel like inspired, I'll sit down, I'll force myself to do nothing but just like sit in that moment and finish writing it. And just kind of letting it all out, like whatever ideas are coming into my head, and not trying to judge it. And then, like later on, if I put it on top of music, it's like, oh, well, maybe like this line would sound better with less syllables in it, or something like that. And so I'll edit the writing there, or I'll come up with a better line for this one part and add it to that. But I'd say a lot of the times it's like I have an idea, I jot something down, and then I started doing is like I would jot something down and then I would ask myself, well, like, okay, what is this song about? And then I'll write that down, not as lyrics, but just like as kind of like a mission
Idea.
statement almost.
Mission, okay.
Yeah. And that will kind of influence like where I go with the rest of the lyrics and stuff like that.
What about the
You know,
baby
'cause
song
I think-
then? What's the mission of that song?
I think Babies is like poking fun at like hipster culture, and it's poking fun at like it's kind of like mocking in a way. It's kind of like mocking being cool, if that makes sense. There's a line in that song, I'm not a big fan, I think it's boring, now your show is blowing up on my story. And that's like basically like a line about people talking shit about a band or something like that, and fake fans or something, like putting a video of a band on their story, but they aren't like, maybe they don't have good intentions or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like they only like only like following like what's kind of cool, you know what I mean? If that makes any sense. I don't want to sound like a cynic, but
Nah, fuck them. Sound however you want.
I feel like there's a lot of that in like the jam scene, and like I love the jam scene, but there's a lot of like, not saying like any bands out there that are like doing really well don't deserve to do really well. I'm not saying that at all. More like the culture is very like hate comments, internet,
Yeah.
like trash talking, like that sort of thing. But then the same person that's like trash talking on the internet is going to be at the show putting it on their story or something like that.
Yeah.
That probably makes more sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I think too that's just like, I mean, you've been like in this scene longer than I have, you know. I've just been going to shows, and I started the podcast like a year ago, and now I find myself more like deeper into it. And you see a lot of that.
When
where,
did you start going to shows?
And like when into college, like 2018, 2019, I was going to shows like in Richmond.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, just like a few shows here and there, like just like my local Dead cover band, and now doing the podcast, I'm in like so many different little pockets. And I'm agreeing with what you're saying, is like people will talk a certain way about a certain band, but then when they get the chance to be like, look where I am, they'll take that chance as like, hey, I'm here, I'm cool.
Yeah. And it's not just
sure.
with like, jam band
It's
culture.
anything,
It's just, like,
I think. I don't think it's jam band. It's whatever you're like
Yeah.
surrounding your time in, you're going to see that.
It's kind of like internet culture, you know.
Yeah.
People love to hate. Yeah.
What? Yeah, people love to hate, and then in person they're all love. You know, that's how it goes. That's the good thing about these phones, right?
Yeah. Oh man.
One of the songs you have on the new album is called Reality, and the word that you used to describe it on like your EPK was krautrock. I'm all into like learning new music and like learning where new music comes from. So I just wanted to see like if you could enlighten me on that a bit.
Sure. I mean, krautrock is like very like Giz took the krautrock thing and like really made it a huge part of their sound. Like if you listen to like Rattlesnake or even like Head on Pill, like any like big Giz tunes, it's just got that like drum beat that's like doom doom tap doom 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 tap doom 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 tap, like kick drum snare, and like the guitar is like kind of like chugging. It's kind of heavy and it's like really like linear and driving. That's kind of what that sound is, and like I'm not like a historian or anything, but I'm pretty sure that like the like where that like sort of sound comes from is bands like Noi, New exclamation point,
Okay.
and Can. They were both German bands, like late 60s, 70s, mainly
Okay.
70s. Yeah. If you go listen to like this one Noi track called I think it's called Hologallo, or that's the name of the album, but it's like you'll listen to it and you'll be like, "Oh, like this sounds like Giz. This is like it's crazy," you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a big? Are you
And
really into Giz?
I'm not like the biggest fan ever, but I
Okay.
love them. I think they're like one of the coolest like new like for me I feel like it's really cool to see like a rock band blowing up like that and just playing rock and roll, and same thing with Geese. Like I think that it's like just really cool to see like a new wave of like rock music that's really good, and Giz is like a little bit more experimental, but they didn't like sign up to be a jam band or anything, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They wouldn't call themselves that. And
Yeah, the Geese thing is weird to me because I feel like they kind of blew up so fast, and people are calling them like this next evolution of rock. And at first, the first few times I listened to them, I think even on the podcast I said it. I was like, I don't get the Goose Train or the Geese Train. I was like, I don't get the hype behind them. And then I listened to their album like two times through, and I saw like a live performance at Trinidad, and I was like, okay, maybe I can get behind this. So I kind of did a 180 on them, but I still don't get them. Everybody's saying they're like the best new band and all this. Like they're good, but I don't think they're like some generational talent or anything.
I don't know. I mean, they're definitely having, I forget who said it, but somebody said that they had, like some famous person said that they're having like a Nirvana moment. And like that makes a lot of sense to me. Like they're definitely having that. And I'm really interested to see like where they go from here, you know?
Yeah.
Either way, it's really cool. I love both like the last two albums, and I think that if you listen to the 3D Country, which came out before Getting Killed, I think if you listen to that and then you listen to Getting Killed makes a lot more sense. But Getting Killed is definitely like a lot more like rough and rugged, and 3D Country's a little bit more like just like really good like tunes and stuff like that.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know?
Maybe I'll check. Because I don't think I've listened to that one. Honestly, I just like that Trinidad song so much. It's so fun.
Dude,
When he
it's
just
so
starts
much
screaming.
fun, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, man.
I want to go back to your like songwriting where you're like, I'll just have a thought and I'll kind of go with that. You play like everything. Vocals, guitar, synth, percussion, piano, right? So when you start doing these like experimental jams, just kind of get a few words in, what instrument are you typically grabbing first?
Well, a big change in the sound happened, like just going back into like the like how like my sound changed dramatically was I got a Korg Minilog synth, and instead of writing songs just on guitar like I always did, I wrote them in Ableton with like a really shitty like MIDI drum loop, and I just plugged my synth in and started writing stuff on the synth. So that inherently changed everything about how like a song would sound, and just playing to like a four on the floor like drum pattern and stuff like that. So a lot of what I do now is like starting behind a keyboard, or normally there's like there's a drum loop, and then I'll start with a bass line or a keyboard. Those are normally the first two things. There's a couple tunes that I wrote recently that aren't on that album that, I went back to like writing on guitar and stuff. Um, but the new album is like most of it's like just like from the synth, a bass, and like a drum loop.
And
Yeah.
this new album that just came out, huge tour with it. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but I just want to know, like, people listen to your album, they like it. What can they expect from the live show in terms of like differences and similarities? Like, I know obviously more improv going off of things, but like, what's the energy like at a Seven Teller show?
My goal with the music now is at a live show is like really hard grooves, just driving grooves, and like I just want to make people dance. Like I think that that's really the goal. I'm kind of butchering this quote, but there's a quote that I think James Murphy has about cheeseburgers and how you can't fuck up a good cheeseburger, and dance music is like a good cheeseburger. It's just it makes you dance. Like a good joke just makes you laugh. Like that's all a joke is supposed to do. You know what I mean? So like if I'm trying to write dance music, I'm just trying to make people dance. So that's really what the live show's like, and there's still like a lot of like psychedelia and like kind of like maybe like spacey moments, but a lot of what I'm trying to do is just have like really driving rhythm and kind of like ambient textures and motifs on top of it, with me on guitar, synth, and my keyboard player Ben on the keyboards, and trying to almost like replicate like what would house music sound like if it was a live band. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not
Nice.
quite like Disco Biscuits or anything like that, but like LCD Sound System. Like if you listen to their live album, which is incredible, almost like that, but a little bit more improv, a little bit more shredding, stuff like that. You know.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. What's the significance of 1031?
1031, I just started seeing that number everywhere, and I still see it everywhere, man. I see it in the morning, I see it at night, I see it on like my tax ID numbers. Like it's super random, and the lyrics behind that are will be 1031, will be gone in that many years. Say goodbye, American band. They can't stop us from being here. So that sort of chorus is, I guess it's like commenting on like the music industry and just like the state of it as it is right now. And, you know, like the idea of like at least a year ago and still today, but like the idea of like an American rock band that's just like a real like a they aren't American, but like a Led Zeppelin or something like that. That's kind of like dead, you know. And I don't mean to sound cynical. What I mean is like the internet and everything is kind of like taking that aura away from pop stars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, if Geese is blowing up, you're gonna listen to a like an hour long podcast with Geese, and you're gonna realize that they're just humans, you know. So that's kind of what that that means, and also like just the state of the music industry, and like to me like say goodbye American band, but they can't stop us from being here. It's like there's venues closing all over the place, festivals are closing all over the place, but you know like I'm still gonna be here making music and trying
Yeah.
to play as many shows as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it seems like, on some of these like social media and music, you kind of have like a grim outlook on some of it. But then like on the flip side of that, what you're doing is like you're making new music, you're setting up these long tours, and those kind of like conflict each other. What do you think kind of motivates you to keep going when you have these like I said, grim thoughts in the back of your mind?
Yeah, I mean, dude, touring is like the most insane thing a person can say that they want to do. Like, um, like booking a show in like some place that I've never been before. Like, this isn't a diss on Nebraska at all, but like we book shows in Omaha
You can diss
and
Nebraska,
like
dude. That's fine.
like I never I don't know anybody in Nebraska, you know, and I went out there like a couple of years ago and on like a weeknight, but there was people there and they're having a great
Yeah.
time, and like I love those people, and so I've gone back there. I'm going back there this spring, and like I think that the lyrics and stuff are just a comment on like the state of things and kind of like an expression of some of like the struggle that I and a lot of like touring musicians have, maybe. Um, but I love playing live music, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's like catharsis for me. It's spiritual. It's how I relate to the world, and there's nothing I love more than like being like, fuck it, I'm gonna book a show in, someplace I've never been before, and we're just gonna see how it goes. Because it's like an insane thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we don't have 10,000 followers on Instagram, or whatever. We don't have like great pull in a lot of the markets we play. Just being frank, but like I don't know what else to do. Like I'm a musician. I
Yeah,
make
you
music.
gotta try,
And I love
yeah.
playing live, and I'm just gonna like thug it out. Like I feel like the old school way of the music industry was what I always thought was true, kind of like pre-COVID. My idea was you just go out there, you play as many shows as you can, and you make a really good live show, and you build markets, and you start selling tickets that way. And I think that that's still true. It's still more than possible. There's plenty of bands that are doing it that way. But now the narrative is you have to be a content creator, and you
Yeah.
have to blow up on TikTok and all that good stuff. But that's not really me. I definitely try my best, but because I'm kind of forced to, and I'm not trying to sound like ungrateful or anything like that, but it's just like the landscape like totally changed, and I'm still just trying to do it like the old school way because that's who I am, like I'm not like social media personality or anything like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have that conversation a lot.
And with
Where-
Geese,
oh, go ahead.
like with
Go ahead,
Geese,
you got
like
it.
I feel like I didn't follow them like a lot before they blew up. I did follow them, like I listened to the previous album that came out, but they like they don't seem like TikTok social media people that much. Like they don't really post that much. And one of the cool things about seeing them blow up is like people just really resonate with their songs, whether like the next person likes them or not, who knows. But it's really cool to see that like they just have really good studio stuff and they kill it live, and people resonate with that, and like that seemed like that was enough to make them like really blow up. I'm sure that like they have like other things
I think they're
going
industry
for them.
plants.
Yeah, I mean that
Just
a
like
lot
you
of
said,
people say that.
America needs like a new rock band, all this stuff, and then there's this band called Goose that's kind of blowing up that people are 50-50 on. They're like, hey, what if we just throw Geese at them and make it heavier? People might like it.
Yeah,
Put them on SNL, put them on NPR. Next thing
totally,
you know,
man.
here we are.
Totally.
Talking about Geese.
Like I think that like two things can be true at the same time. Like some of that's probably true, but also like if their songs sucked, then nobody would be going to their shows.
Yeah,
And
no,
the
I
same thing's
agree.
true and the same thing is true with Goose. Like they aren't my favorite band, but I respect the fuck out of Goose because like they make really good songs that people like and not just people in the jam scene, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
They make really good songs that people resonate with, and that's why they're headlining Madison Square Garden for 2 nights, you know what I mean? Um, and they're a really good live band, but it's not like it's not like a torch passing or whatever. And
Yeah,
and sure, like maybe they have some like maybe they had money or whatever, and I hear people talk about this stuff all the time, and I'm just like, I don't care, dude. Like with the shit talking, it's like they have good songs that people like. They like I don't listen to them like that, but I'm not dumb. Like I can tell that they have really good songs that people really enjoy, and
hmm,
like if that's enough to like make it work, then like I'm happy. You know what I mean? Because like if I can write a good song like that, you know, like that's all I want to do when I write music is I just want to like write songs that people resonate with, and if they resonate on a level that helps me sell more tickets, that's great. But the goal isn't to just to do that. The goal is to just make music that people resonate with.
for sure. You mentioned a little while ago, like taking some of these risks with some of these spots you're going for your tour. Omaha, Nebraska, whatever it may be. Um, you're doing a residency in Asheville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
a unique place to do a residency when you're from Baltimore, which I feel like Baltimore probably your music probably does pretty well in Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did the Baltimore music scene influence you all? I know like Animal Collective's up there. Like, is that something that kind of influenced you at all?
Yeah, I love Animal Collective. I should do a deep dive more on them. I have some friends that have like I have a friend that's like played in one of their side projects recently. Their music is so creative, man. I like it kind of blows my mind whenever I listen to it. It's kind of hard to like it's like so creative. It's like I can just get lost in it, and it's kind of hard to pick apart. But like I'd say like most of my friends like Natalie Brooke, Uncle Kunkel's One Gram Band, like they're like we all Natalie was playing before I was playing, but we've all like really kind of like rebuilt like a just like that the whole like scene here. I'm not trying to like take a bunch of credit, but we really rebuilt it after COVID. And before
Hmm.
COVID, there was a bunch of bands. Like there was Electric Love Machine, which was they were really killing it. They used to tour everywhere. They aren't that much of a band now anymore. There was The Bridge, which had Chris Jacobs in it. Maybe you know that name.
Chris Jacobs sounds like a familiar name.
Highly recommend. He's still touring with Chris Jacobs band and a bunch of other
Yeah,
stuff.
I've
But
heard of him.
he, yeah, he used to play in the Bridge, and the Bridge was like the first like Baltimore band in our scene to kind of like make that arc. And they used to like sell out Ram's Head, which is like a really big venue here and stuff like that. And how could I not mention Pigeons? You know,
Yeah.
Pigeons Pigeons is from here, and they all those bands really came up like pre-COVID, and so like I wouldn't have that much of a scene to start with at all if it wasn't for those bands and like a venue
Pigeons was
like
the
the 8
first
by
jam
10
band I ever heard of when I was in like high school.
Oh, are you serious?
I had friends going to see Pigeons playing ping pong when I was like probably like 2012, 2013. I had a homie who
You're
was
from
like,
Richmond?
"No, I'm from Virginia, like Virginia Beach area." So they would play at the Norva, and I had a buddy who would always go see him. Shouts
Got
out
you.
Kyle Bush.
Shout out Kyle.
But yeah,
Yeah,
man, he
man.
loved them, and that was before the Grateful Dead, before anything. That was the first like I didn't even know they were a jam band. I was just like, that's a crazy ass name.
They're they're all awesome guys. I don't know Greg, but I've known Jeremy and Ben and Alex for a little bit, and they're all awesome guys.
Yeah, I think Greg's the only one I've met. I think I met him at Halloween this year. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What about your Tellerfest, man? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I'm working on it this year. I mean, you put on a little mini festival. Um, there's a lot that goes into it, man.
Yeah.
And we had it at Patterson Park, which is like a really awesome city park here, 2 years ago, and that was like it was like the best day ever. Like all of
Hmm.
our friends' bands were playing, One Gram Band was playing, Five Spot was playing, and that was like a total blast. But it was really hard to set up with the city, cost a lot of money, um, stuff like that. So last year I did it at the 8x10, and that was great. I didn't lose any money. But it's not quite like a festival venue. Like we couldn't have like a lot of vendors or anything. But man, I'm so happy I got to have it at the 8x10 before they closed because they're like
Hmm.
closing this summer. And this year I'm still got my eyes on a few places, but I need to find a new venue. I think I got one that I'm really excited about, but it's not confirmed yet. So
Cool. Cool, man. Well, we're definitely gonna try to link up here when you're in Asheville. You're in here in a couple weeks, right? You'll be back soon.
I'll be there at the tail end of March, like the last
Okay.
Thursday of March, and we're doing 4 Thursdays in a row at the one stop. We're gonna try to have special guests and stuff like that come out. And I think that first Thursday that we're playing is the I can just check really quick. The first Thursday we're doing is March 26th, which is
Hmm.
also that's particularly cool because Dogs in a Pile and Natalie Brooke are playing upstairs.
Oh,
So,
nice. Yeah, that's right. So I'll be there that
yeah.
day. I'll
Hell
definitely
yeah,
be there
man.
that day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
brother.
I'm looking at him here. So yeah, you're kind of all over. I mean, yeah, Asheville 4 days, and then the Nowhere Bar in Athens, Georgia. Boone, all my Boone guys, go check out March 27th. Ripple Rays, March 28th in Richmond. Yeah, man, that's a fun little tour. It looks like.
Yeah, it's a lot of dates and just gonna get by, so all the Colorado people, all the Midwest people, if you're listening, please come out. All the people in the South in Florida, 4 or 5 dates in Florida, I think. Yeah. It's probably like the most extensive tour that I've booked so far. So I'm very excited, a little scared, but if I wasn't scared, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, and the album's already out. Where can we all find the album if we want to check it out?
You can listen to it wherever you stream music. It's on Bandcamp, it's on Spotify, it's on all that stuff. Um,
Okay.
and we got vinyl too. We don't sell merch online. We only sell it at shows. So if you want a vinyl or anything like that, come out to a show.
Cool, man. I got one last question before we wrap up here. I have a friend who's a big Seven Teller fan. I think you were actually in her top five on Spotify this year, if I remember her posting it. But and I asked her, I was like, "Do you have any questions?" I'm interviewing Sam from Seven Teller, and she wants to know why you went from being Sam Teller to you used to go by Sam Teller, right?
Yeah,
And
long
now it's
time
Seven
ago.
Teller. What caused that change there?
Wow, I want to know who this is so bad. Um, it well, yeah, I just wanted to have a different name. I don't know. Teller is kind of short for like storyteller, and I think music tells
Okay,
stories, and seven is a cool number. Um,
there you go.
I was I was playing with a different group at the time, and I wanted it to sound more like a band name, and yeah, and like it's a lot. It's my songs, and I'm kind of like the creative director, music director, what have you. But I am like really amped about the lineup that we have this year. Um, Jagger Sauce, he used to play in Baked Shrimp, just moved to Baltimore to play in our band. We've got Wyatt, who's in One Grain Band. He's been my friend for years, and he's also in Radish. And my Ben, who played with us last year on keyboards, he's an ace in the hole. So that's kind of our lineup this year, and like I think like I want to keep like the same band and everything, but it's just it's hard for people to tour. It's hard to find the right people to tour. So that's why things change. They've been, especially last year, things were changing a lot, but hopefully we got this lineup for a long time.
Hell yeah, man. Was there anything you want to plug before we wrap up?
Go stream. What are the chances? Go listen to it. Go buy tickets to our shows. That's all I got, man. Thanks for having me so much, dude.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
You just got jammed.
And we're back from that episode with Seven Teller.
Damn, you're loud.
I may have accidentally hit that at some point.
We don't have a ton to talk about on
I have
today's
some.
podcast.
I have
Yeah,
some.
Chloe's came prepared with some things. I didn't, but just little housekeeping things.
Okay.
So, February. This is our last episode of February,
Mm-hmm.
and we did Occasions of Deco music for February. Hopefully, we'll have an interview next week for someone well versed in that. But as far as us talking about it and all that stuff goes, that's it for the month. So we're moving into a new month, March, and we have a couple ideas we're floating around for the new genre. But we want to hear what you guys have to say. So DM us on Instagram, throw us out a couple. On Monday, we'll say what the new one is. But I think I know what I want to do, unless someone gives us a really good suggestion.
I'm excited. I feel like I didn't dive as deep as I should have on the last one. So
I think we did a perfect deep dive.
I think I managed to get the beginning, and you managed to get more of the current.
I think that's perfect.
The
I think
modern lead up. I think we did okay on that.
Yeah, I think that was a good one. And the guy that I'm trying to interview, if we get him, he'll kind of put everything together, and it'll be how I planned it in my mind. But considering we figured we're going to do this like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks into February.
Yeah.
The shortest month. Is it the shortest month of the year?
It is.
There is.
And as we do on All Jammed Up, we just kind of do things on the fly here and figure it out as we go.
Yeah, we wing it and we learn.
That's why we have nothing to talk about today.
I have some. So
Yeah,
I
we
did
do
do
have a
a
few
little bit of
things.
research. Well, okay, so what sparked my first topic, I didn't know the String Dusters had a new album out, came out like last month-ish.
Yeah, and that was what we talked about with Travis Book at Halloween. They're like 20 for 20.
Yeah,
20 songs for 20 years.
Yeah. And I will say, I was listening through it and I was like, okay, I'll write down like a couple bangers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started writing down names and I realized that I was writing down most of the names of this song. And so I just through and through, that album is sick.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes to like sit down and listen to a whole album through and like just kind of finding the time for it and like being not distracted.
Yeah.
And I had like some downtime the other day and I just I listened to it full and the whole album was just good. It was just good to listen to, It was like I never wanted to be like, "Oh, turn this song off." There was a few songs that I really liked. I didn't write any of them down.
So a couple of my...
Karma's Got Your Number. I like that one.
I like Karma's Got Your Number. I really like this Gospel 32, just like a acapella hymnal kind of one. Looking for Something Good, really liked it.
Dancing on the Moon was fun.
Yeah, so truthfully, this album is absolutely sick, beginning to end.
It's cool, too, because, like, those are, like... OGs of like this jam grass thing, right? And for them to 20 years later like still release that good of an album, it's just like it's kind of an ode to like that. And I feel like it's got to be hard to be a band for that long and keep making good music,
Yeah.
You say that, but then you think about like your favorite musicians and like they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah,
but I guess that's what makes them your favorite.
I guess that's like their that's like their creative thinking. That's just like the way their mind works.
Yeah,
So they probably are just like pumping out ideas.
I don't know if this is a conversation we had in the podcast or just you and I had, but like, you know, like when you're growing up, people always tell you like express yourself,
Yeah.
and that's always like a thing that like you hear, and it's like, yeah, I would like to do that, but you don't really know how. And then when like you figure out your thing or things to express yourself, it just becomes that much easier. So like when their thing's music, because sometimes I like even asking questions. I'm like, you've been doing this for so long. Like, what motivates you to just like keep writing music, keep getting in the tour bus, keep staying in hotels? And they're like, it's just what I do, you know. So I think that's just kind of what it all comes back to, I suppose.
Yeah. That's just like, I lost my train of thought. But yeah.
Choo choo.
Yeah, it left me immediately. But
Oh, I do want to shout out Clouds of Delusion.
yeah. So I will say I was in a real bad mood on Tuesday. I just had a very blue day. And I got back home and I like didn't want to go at all. I was like, I just don't really feel like talking to people tonight. I'm like in a bad mood. And then you texted me and you're like, hey, everything good? Like, you're on your way soon. I was like, you know what? I will go. And it completely changed my night around. I feel like I ended the night not even thinking about the morning. It was so like high energy, but comfortingly calm at the same time.
The music was high energy. The vibe was like
was so
good. Yeah.
The ambiance in One World at the moment is incredible. The twinkle lights they had, and then like the stage lights were red. Very, very lovely ambiance.
And how about that red rocking chair?
I was just about to say the bluesy, like deep red rocking chair.
Yeah.
Jackson Chisholm saying, I'm loving Jackson on the mic. I think it's so fun. Sorry, I'm screaming. I know, huh?
If you haven't if you listen to the podcast and you're not in Asheville, get down here and come see Sons of Stars and like come see these guys, dude. They're so good, and like we've only really been here for like a year, and just seeing like the past year, like how much better some of these guys have gotten at like their instruments or singing or just like confidence. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
So a good chance to do that would be July 18th and 19th at the All Jammed Up Festival. Tickets for sale right now. Link in bio. Still some early bird tickets. Get them now.
Fuck yeah.
That's my plug right there for
that.
you guys. Clip it.
I do have another album topic, and I wrote this one down, but I knew it would have to come with a little bit of explaining. Niall Horan is the one that sings Slow Hands.
That's Ed Sheeran.
So I knew Clint gets a lot of the male artists confused. Niall Horan, Ed Sheeran, Harry Styles. This all kind of
That's all of them. You named all of them right there.
Adam Levine could maybe be thrown.
No, that's Maroon 5. They wrote one of the best albums of all time, Songs About Jane.
I do agree. I agree that album's sick. But Niall Horan has a new album coming soon. I know you like that Slow Hands song, so I thought it was funny to write it down and let you know.
All right, Niall Horan, Ed Sheeran, Harry Styles.
Oh, goodness.
Sabrina Carpenter, Tate McRae, Charlie XXX.
XXX, XCX?
XCX.
Yeah.
Who's who? Like, who's the equivalent to each of them?
I don't think Tate McRae is very new on the scene.
I don't know anything. Sabrina Carpenter has to be Harry Styles.
I don't know anything Tate McRae has sung, so let's change her.
Okay.
'Cause I don't know her at all. And also,
Pink Pony Club? Chappelle Roan?
That's Harry Styles.
That's Harry Styles. Okay, yeah, you're probably right.
And then Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabina.
Who are these other two you named?
Ed Sheeran and Niall Horan.
What
about
compare.
Benson Boone?
Benson Boone and Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan and Harry Styles. And then Adam Levine. Who is Adam Levine?
Adam Levine's out of it. He's way ahead of this.
Well,
Ed Sheeran.
You want it to be Ed Sheeran? So I feel like, okay, Ed Sheeran.
That Lola girl?
I fucking love Ed Sheeran, dude. I'm such an Fearing for Sheeran. Fearing for Sheeran, dude. Absolutely. I think he is such a good singer-songwriter. Side rant.
Ed Sheeran and Billie Eilish.
Who is he equivalent to? Oh,
Ed Sheeran and Billie Eilish. Because I like some of the Ed Sheeran.
I think Billie Eilish is a bit bigger than Ed Sheeran. Personal opinion.
I mean, Ed Sheeran is pretty short. No, I think Ed Sheeran's probably as popular as Billie Eilish.
You think that?
What do you think, Brandon?
Resident like pop,
Resident pop boy.
resident pop expert. So, is Sabrina Carpenter? No.
We said
Right?
these are our comparisons: Ed Sheeran to Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter, Harry Styles, Chapel Roan, Harry Styles, Sabina to I don't know. We forgot that one too.
Oh, fuck.
Benson Boone.
Benson Boone.
I like Sabrina Benson Boone.
Sabrina Benson Boone, Chapel Roan, Harry Styles. You don't think so? Not in his Watermelon Sugar era? Bedazzle Boy?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, if I have to convince you, then the answer might be no. But temporary. And then this is where I'm hung up because I don't really agree. Ed Sheeran and Billie Eilish. Equivalents? I don't really know. I love Ed Sheeran. I don't really know either of their audiences. I don't really know.
It's
how
not
big
about
of
the
a scene-
audiences.
No, I don't know like how big of a scene they carry.
And that's Pop 101 with All Jammed Up.
Thank you.
I did have something else though. I think.
Yeah.
See, we come to these things. We're like, oh, we're so unprepared, and then we just get to yapping.
We get yip yappers. Yip yapping down the block.
Songs of the week.
Oh. Okay, so I want to do one off that. Did you do one off that album? No.
No, I didn't.
I want to do one off that album. I'm going to do Looking for Something Good off the 2020 Infamous String Dusters
Okay.
album.
So we've started Songs of the Week for maybe in like October, November is when we started it.
Mm-hmm.
And the people have probably been wondering, when are they going to put a Billy Strings song on the podcast?
Oh, finally. There we go.
When are they going to put a Billy Strings song on the playlist? Come on,
I
put a
was
Billy
nervous
Strings
to
song
be
on the
the one to
playlist.
do
Come
it.
on, come on. We want some Billy Strings on the playlist. Well, you got it. And it's one you
I
maybe.
know what it's going to be.
What do you think it's going to be?
Away from the Mire.
It is going to be Away from the Mire.
Yeah.
That's a song that was like, I think I said this on the podcast the other day, but that was like one of the first songs I like kind of really got into around the time I really got into Billy Strings. And he's released so much music since then, I kind of like forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he played it in Asheville,
Mm-hmm.
and he played it in Nashville again this weekend. And both times they were like the highlight of the night for me, with the exception of New Country Blues.
Of course, yeah, incredible.
So, Away from the Mire is going to go on it. And maybe, hopefully there's a live version out there on Spotify I can put on it,
Nice.
because that's really what resonated with me there more.
Nice. I like that. As soon as you started explaining your stuff, I was like, I know. Because,
So-
yeah, you had a moment with that song this weekend, I feel. It was lovely.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
It's a great song. And also, I like, I don't think we had the podcast yet, but when Stratosphere Blues came out, I didn't like that song.
Yeah. And that's grown on Clint a lot.
To be fair, I do like the I
Believe
Believe in
in
You
You.
part more than Stratosphere Blues.
I think this kind of goes back with the way I feel like that song moves with my body well. When I dance, the beginning, the Stratosphere Blues, it just feels like it fits.
Well, I think that wraps up most everything we got. I want to just plug two things. One for the podcast. Monday, we're going to have a legend on the podcast. Like your dad's
Oh,
favorite
fuck.
musician.
Yeah.
Like
to
super
think
legend
about
on
it.
the podcast. Your dad's favorite musician. Maybe your favorite musician. It's going to be a good one.
It's gonna
I'm
be
excited for you guys to hear that one. And also, Mental Awakening Fest is about a month out with the Crawfish for a Cause guys, Hetty Net, and Michael, who's been on this podcast too before. Get your tickets if you haven't. Those guys are doing some awesome stuff over there. They got a killer lineup for that day. I'm going to be set up there with my stuff, doing interviews too. So it's in Atlanta too. Great spot. So get your tickets for that. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you on Monday. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Well, all jammed up, hey, that's where it's going down. Best damn pot in this old Asheville town. More than enough old stories to go around. And I'm all jammed up right now. Yes, I'm all jammed up right now.